Therapeutic yoga practice. What's the difference between this class and the other classes? In this practice, it's kind of a hybrid between progressive therapeutic, which happens Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings at 10 o'clock. And it's a hybrid between that class and the empowering therapeutic. And the empowering therapeutic happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. And in that class, we do the sun salutations. It's a little more of a vigorous practice. So this one's kind of a bridge in between. And the sun salutation is really important. We do the modified one. But here we actually will do a little bit more sun salutation A and B, which, you know, works your upper body, kind of gets you going. So in case you were wondering, what the heck is all of this about? All right, let's begin in standing in Tadasana with the weight even between both feet. The only thing that you have to do, good, I got that going on, is breathe. And everything should feel good. If you've got your aromatherapy and you want to use that at the very end of class, then you can do that. Blocks or a chair, something so that we will always, especially in this class, we will always notice a practice where we're doing our intense side stretch, the stretch for the back of the hamstring. So in this particular practice, I'm wanting to make sure that those of you who are spending a lot of time in sitting, maybe in office work, maybe commuting, that you kind of get a practice that helps you to work all of the areas of potential restriction out. All right, let's begin in Tadasana, setting a foundation. Strength through the feet. We lift the toes up as high as you can to feel the support through the muscular arch. You can keep the toes lifted throughout this practice if that helps you, but you can also, keeping the weight even between the ball of the foot and the heel, relax the toes down. We're going to start in Tadasana, standing mountain. Draw the shoulders back and move them down. Lengthen through the top of the head as you're breathing, mouth closed, breathing through the nose, if that is comfortable to you. Hands at heart center. We determine how much to do based upon noticing how well we are breathing. So here is a form of a meditation where I want you to focus your attention on your breath. We're going to use it to help you to know when you need to take rest. We're going to notice when you're holding your breath, that means you're overdoing, you're working too hard. If all else fails today, just breathe. And if you can, breathe smoothly with awareness. We begin with one long, strong Om. Inhale. Samastitihi. Inhale, reach the arms skyward. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the front side body. Exhale, place the hands down, step it back. You can put the knees down. We're going to slow lower all the way down onto the mat. Inhale for a beginning cobra. Exhale, hold. Inhale, upward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet parallel, breathe one. Wide fingers and palms, connecting to the mat, breathe two. Our foundation of strength and support is important, breathe three. Wide fingers and hands and palms and feet connected, breathe four, are important to help to set up the strength that we're going to create through your arms and legs, breathe five. Inhale, feet to hands. Exhale, head down. Inhale, sweep up, standing mountain, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that again. I'm going to show a side profile. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward bend. Hands can be on the mat or on your shins. Inhale, extend, open the front side body. Yes, you can bend the knees if that helps your spine. Exhale, hands down, step it back. You can stay in high plank or bend the knees for half plank. And as you bend the elbows, the arms are close to your ribs cage. Let's inhale for upward facing dog. Open the front side body, squeeze the back side body. Curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away as you're breathing. 1. The heels are thinking about moving towards the mat. Breathe. 2. Maybe you're lifting the toes up to feel that strength through the front of your ankles. Breathe. 3. This is important work for your lower legs, feet, and ankles. Breathe. 4. Wide fingers, wide palms, anchoring through the hands. Breathe. 5. There's a gentle bend of the elbows, just enough, so that you're working through those arms, forearms, and biceps and triceps. Inhale, feet to hands. Exhale, head down. Inhale, sweep up, standing mountain. And exhale. Do it again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hands down. Step it back, slow, lower. Top of the feet into the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now in this downward dog, breathe. 1. If you're having a little fun here, breathe. 2. Peel the right foot an inch off the mat. Breathe. 3. Keep the whole body strong and steady. Breathe. 4. Put the right foot down. Breathe. 5. Maybe consider lifting the left foot an inch off the mat. Breathe. 6. Just notice, can you stay fairly steady through your body? Breathe. 7. Put that left foot down. Breathe. 8. Push the floor away from you. Stretch the spine long. Breathe. 9. Make a muscle through the forearms, the arms, upper body. And 10. Inhale, step the feet towards the hands. Exhale, drop the head down. Inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale, hands back to your side. We're going to move through our Sun Salutation B, and that's the one where we step the right foot forward and move into Warrior One. So let's go see how it's going to go. Remember, take your time, listen to your breath. Here's the cool thing about Sun Salutation B. Even though it feels a little fast, at the very end, we all end up waiting in a downward dog. So take your time, know where your body is being positioned, come back, you'll join us. We'll all be at the Sun Salutation together. If all else fails, take rest, just breathe. We're gonna bend the knees. Let's start. Inhale, fierce pose. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hands down, step it back, slow lower, elbows close. Inhale, up dog. Curl the toes under. Exhale, down dog. Right leg steps forward. Inhale, push all the way up, Warrior One. And then exhale, hands come down, step it back, slow lowering. Inhale, up dog, squeeze the backside body. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg comes forward, stepping into Warrior One on this left. Exhale, hands down, slow lower, elbows close. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Hold. Breathe. 1. So you're holding in your downward dog. Breathe. 2. Pushing the floor away from you. Breathe. 3. Lengthening through the spine, making a muscle through the front of the thighs. Breathe. 4. There's a gentle bend in the elbow. Make muscles through your arms. And breathe. 5. Inhale, feet to hands. Exhale, head down. Bend your knees. Inhale, fierce pose. And exhale. Let's do that one more time. Now I'm going to share with you something about the way that we use the arms in this particular Sun Salutation. And some of you have been doing this enough for a while and you're kind of like, well, what's the difference between my arms going out to the side and my arms going forward? Well, there is a difference. And the difference creates an opportunity. I love opportunities, right? When we move with the arms reaching forward this way throughout everything that we're doing, and when we step forward into Warrior One and the arms come forward, we use that for many reasons. One of them is when we have, let's say in the past, when yoga studios were packed, one mat right next to the other, and there was no room and you could take somebody out, then we would reach the arms forward. But there's more to it than just that. It's actually a little more challenging to your spinal extensors and your lumbo and your thoracic kind of spine. So I usually teach us to begin with this. It's a little less challenging to your spine. When you are ready and you're like, okay, I've got this, you might want to then try the arms going forward. It'll feel a little different. Listen to your body. This is the first recommendation, arms out to the side. This is the second one. I'm going to demonstrate the second one with the arms going forward. Listen to your body, do what works for you. Here we go. Inhale, bend the knees, fierce pose. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, extend. Hands down as you exhale, slow lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We step the right foot forward and inhale, the arms come forward if you choose. And then exhale, hands down, step it back, slow lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes forward, arms go forward. Warrior One. Exhale, keep breathing everybody, elbows close. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away, breathe one. Now, if you want to have some more fun, right foot peels an inch off the mat, breathe. And the left palm peels off the mat and your fingers can still be on the mat. Or you can hover that left hand, breathe two, off the mat. This is a great way to kind of get wobbly. Place the left hand down and the right foot down, breathe. Peel the left foot an inch off the mat, breathe. Maybe peel the right palm off the mat or hover the palm, breathe the whole hand, breathe two. Breathe three. Right hand comes down, left foot comes down, breathe. Inhale, look forward, walk the feet towards the hands. Exhale, drop the head down. Bend the knees, inhale, fierce pose. And exhale, release. Okay, we use the sun salutations for many different reasons. One of them is to kind of get you warmed up. Another is to get your mind in this moment. So that looks pretty good, you know. We're just trying to do what we can. Let's go ahead and get wide in the legs, strong through the legs, firm the thighs. Don't forget to lift through the muscular arch. So yeah, those of you guys over here facing center, nice that you can see what we're up to. And remember, just listen to your body. Turn. I will be giving us cues for right and left. Make sure that you can see what we're doing. All right, because I can see you in there. Awesome. Right foot turns out to the right side, left foot faces forward. We bend into that right knee and we're going to stabilize the thighs. Breathe. Feel the thighs. If you can put your hands on your thighs, we're going to rotate outward. And that right knee is in line with that foot. We're going to take the right hand to the outside. We're going into extended side angle. We're just going to go for the big guns right off the bat. Right hand, arm behind your right thigh, left hand to hip, open the hips, breathe. Your right hand, left hand can come to your belly or to your chest, turn. You can reach that left arm, hold and breathe one. So we're pushing the floor away from us. Breathe two. Can you firm the muscles in your buttocks? Breathe three. Now that's on purpose so that you can help to release the muscles in the front of your hips. Breathe four. And breathe five. Push all the way up as you inhale. And exhale. Let's do extended side angle on the left-hand side. Left foot turns out, right foot faces forward. Breathe. Bend into that left knee. Feel the thighs turning outward. Firm the buttocks. Left arm to the outside of the left thigh, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Right hand to hip, we open that right hip to the belly, to the chest. You can reach that right arm, firm the muscles through the buttocks and the thighs. Hold, breathe 1. Breathe 2. Can you squeeze between the shoulder blades? Breathe 3 and feel that work. Breathe 4. Good. And breathe 5. Inhale, push all the way up. We're going to pivot. Turn to face your short edge of your mat. Your right foot turns out. Breathe. Left foot rolls up on the ball of that left foot, and we bend into that right knee. So really think about straightening the left knee. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to draw the right hip back, and the left hip tries to go forward. Squeeze, firm that left buttock. Reach the left arm. You can stay right here. Breathe, looking forward. You can turn your hips a little bit more, turn your torso, turn the chest, and look over that right shoulder. Breathe 1. Breathe 2. Imagine you're pushing the right foot and the left foot away from center. Breathe 3. Breathe 4. Can you feel the rib cage? This is a great opportunity. Breathe 5 to massage your internal organs with your breath. Here, let's talk about that. Inhale, turn, and exhale. So this whole process, when we inhale and exhale, the rib cage can expand, and you can exhale, squeeze the air in the ribs and the belly a little bit more. We're going to do a little bit of that throughout our practice today. And I want you to do this to help to increase your vital capacity, meaning how much air you can get into your lungs. And when we exhale and squeeze old air out, the next relaxed breath can actually encourage your oxygenation, more air into your lungs. Now, today's a poor air quality day, so don't be doing this outside. Do it inside like you are right now. Here in San Antonio, really difficult breathing out there. So in case you are having some issues, that's why. Here we go. Let's go ahead and turn. We turn the left foot out to the left side. We balance on the ball of that right foot. We bend into that left knee, and we straighten that right thigh. We firm that right buttock. The hips are turning towards the left. Reach the right arm, shoulders back and down. Turn your torso, turn your chest. Look over that left shoulder and reach the right arm forward. Firm the buttocks. Push the left foot forward, the right foot back. And breathe 1. Now here we go. Gentle inhalation. Expand the ribs and belly. And now exhale. Squeeze the ribs and belly. Breathe 2. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, breathe 3. And then inhale, expansion. Exhale, breathe 4. And one more. Inhale, expansion. And exhale, blow that air out. And now when you're ready, inhale, pivot. Exhale, excellent. Right foot turns out, left foot turns in, firm through the thighs, breathe. Press your hips towards the right and feel the buttock muscles, engage them. Lift through the muscular arch through the feet, lift the toes if you need to, and firm the quadriceps. Press the hips, reach the left arm, squeeze between the shoulder blades. We move into triangle. Breathe, triangle on the right. Feel your rib cage. Can you inhale, expand the ribs and the belly? And exhale, squeeze the ribs and the belly. Inhale, expand the ribs and the belly. Exhale, squeeze the ribs and the belly. Inhale, expand the ribs and the belly. Exhale and squeeze the ribs and the belly. One more. Inhale, expand the ribs and the belly. Exhale and squeeze. Be strong through the legs. Here we go. Inhale, push up. Expansion. And exhale, release. So we can up the ante. Is anybody noticing if you're trying some of this work of squeezing a little bit more and expanding a little bit more in your breath? Those of you who are ready, this is one of the ways that we can increase the intensity, the challenge, the the difficulty or the level of this work by keeping everything else the same. Now we just bring more mind into body. So do the best you can. Notice if you're feeling overwhelmed or you can't really catch your breath, then pull back. It's okay. Do what you can. Left foot turns out as we're breathing. Lift through the muscular arch. Right foot turns in. Firm the thighs. Press your hips towards the left. Breathe. Firm the thighs. Reach the right arm back. Squeeze between your shoulder blades. And then we glide that left hand down along the left thigh. This is triangle towards the left. And as you breathe, we're holding. Inhale and exhale. 1. Squeeze the ribs in the belly. Breathe. 2. Breathe. 3. Make a muscle at the front of your thighs. Breathe. 4. Breathe. 5. Strong through the legs. Inhale. Keep breathing. Push all the way up. And exhale and releasing. Excellent. Breathe. Right foot turns out. Bend into the right knee. Reach the left arm back. Warrior 2. Hold. Strengthen your legs. Breathe. 1. Some of you will actually widen the feet a little bit more and bend a little bit more. Breathe. 2. Lengthen through the spine. Breathe. 3. Lift through the muscular arch. Breathe. 4. Bernardo, give me a little more width if you have the desire. There's a reason. Good. Hold. Make sure it feels okay. We want that knee right above the ankle or slightly behind it. As we go, breathe. 5. Yeah, and you'll feel those muscles in your thighs working. Right palm goes up and reverse the warrior. Hold. Keep those legs strong. So yeah, if the right knee is bent, the right arm goes up. So the leg that's straight, we're actually reaching back. So Rick, how does it look over there? Reach to your right arm goes up in the air. Breathe. 2. There you go. The other way. That's it. Breathe. 3. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. We call this our reverse warrior or extended warrior. Breathe. We'll call that 5. Here we go. Inhale, come up. Exhale, straighten that right knee. Good. Turn, left foot turns out, right foot faces forward. When we bend into that knee, so this is what I was referring to. If the feet are ready to get a little bit wider, sometimes when the foot's too close and we bend, your knee goes way beyond your ankle. Now that's not exactly horrible, but it does demonstrate that you've got a little bit more ability within your body to possibly go a little bit wider. So when we get wider in the foot, now as you bend, you're going to notice here's an opportunity for more stretch in the groin. And we can try to keep less pressure on the front of the knee joint. So nice. Bernardo, that looks really good. Yeah. So now firm the thighs. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Take the right arm back. Take the left arm forward. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. Breathe. 1. Can you firm the muscles in your thighs and your buttocks? Breathe. 2. Can you lift through the muscular arch? Breathe. 3. Feel the ball of the foot and the heel anchored. Breathe. 4. Looks good, everybody. And breathe. 5. Now the reverse warrior. Ooh, those legs are knowing that they're working. Hold. The left arm goes up. Breathe. 1. Yeah, we reverse that warrior. Breathe. 2. Strong through the legs, long through the spine. Breathe. 3. Muscles will get tired, but the joints should not hurt. Breathe. 4. And breathe. 5. Inhale and exhale. Straighten that left knee. Woo! And inhale and exhale. Knees and feet face forward. Take the hands back behind you. I'm going to turn around just to show you. Arms back behind you. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. Open the front side body. Breathe, and then from that position, inhale, squeeze the backside body, bring the hands to the front of your thighs, down to your shins. Maybe you put your hands on blocks or a chair. Maybe you put your hands down on the mat. In this particular position, it will be to your advantage to try to get the legs as wide as you can. Now, there's a reason for that. When the legs are wider, it takes some of the tension off of the hamstrings that are pulling tension, if they're fairly tight, on your pelvis. So do the best as you can, as long as you don't feel like you're slipping. Anchor through those feet on your sticky mat, wide legs, as wide as they can be, and then drop down to the place where you feel a stretch. Breathe 1. Can you make a muscle at the front thigh? Breathe 2. Nice. Elizabeth's got her feet going on. Nice. Breathe 3. Yeah. Lifting through the muscular arch is great practice. Breathe 4. We're trying to set ourselves up for a really healthy next few decades. I'll just call it that. And our feet play a major role. Breathe 5. The more mobile, supple, and strong that we are through the lower body and lower leg and foot, potentially that can reduce our risk of falling. We'll have greater agility if we practice. Inhale, come to tabletop. Exhale, hold strong through your abdomen, strong through your legs. Inhale, hands to hips if it feels good to you. Push through the strength of your backside. Push, push, push. Breathe, 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 breathe. Inhale and exhale. And now bend your knees. Step the feet together. Excellent. Let's go and practice a little balancing. So earlier, I was talking about the importance of our feet. When I ask you to put weight on the ball of the foot, this area right in here, and the heel, the inner part and the outer part, so that when we're standing, when I ask you to lift your toes, it makes it sometimes easier to feel that connection. And so when we do balancing, balancing is not about how high can I get the other leg. Balancing is how well connected can you ground down into the foot, the leg that's on the floor still. So right now, as you're standing in Tadasana, standing mountain, breathe, lift the toes up as high as you can. And I'll share with you that, and it may be hard for you to see in this particular view. Stand tall, breathe. But in this particular position, when you're standing and you lift the toes up, that helps to lift the structural arches, so that when you put weight, instead of everything collapsing down, we're actually able to turn on those muscles. Now we have 3 arches: medial, a lateral, and a transverse arch. Those 3 arches are depending upon the muscles that you have in your body, in your lower leg. Those little muscles will actually impact your knee joints, your hips, your spine, everything up here. So hands at heart center, lift the toes up, breathe. Permission granted to keep the toes up, but guess what? It's really hard to balance with the toes up. So you can stay right here, lift the toes and hold, breathe. You can keep the arches lifted best as you can. Shift the weight, toes will come down. Shift the weight onto the right foot. Peel the right foot 1 inch off the mat, breathe. So you can barely see that I lifted my foot up. It's just kind of barely touching. And I'm standing as tall as I can. Breathe 1, shoulders back and down. Put your eyes on something that's not moving. Breathe 2, and it's completely cool if you have that left foot still on the mat touching lightly. Breathe 3, because right now you're focusing on that right foot. And then the thigh, breathe 4, and then the buttock. Everything energetically coming up. Breathe 5. Now, if you're having fun right now, you can tippy toe that left foot. Breathe 6. You can turn that left thigh out, but you could still keep the leg right where it was. And some of you will say, well, this is my tree pose. I'm going to lift that foot up. But guess what? This is just more. And when you want to get solid in your foundation, just barely taking that left foot off is enough. Release. Woo. So hopefully you felt that work, that whole right foot, lower leg, lower ankle, all the way. I feel that all the way up through the rest of my body. That's what I would like you to be doing as well. We're developing strength and support for the long term. Here we go. Let's go do the other side. Breathe. Lifting the toes, just to remind the ball of the foot and the heel. Lifting the muscles that support your arches. Relax the toes down. Shift onto the left foot. Breathe. Shoulders back and down. Peel the right foot an inch off the mat, maybe. Breathe. My right foot is still touching the mat. Don't worry about how high you lift that right foot. Focus, breathe, on anchoring and using the muscles through your left ankle, foot, thigh, buttock. Breathe. And then if you have fun right here, you can tippy toe the right foot. You can turn it out. Keeping that toe touching is great. No worries. Work on the left thigh, work on the right thigh turning out. And then if you're still having fun, take that right foot to the inside of the lower leg. You could change the arms if you want to. Don't be in a hurry. Just do what you can. Breathe. Feel strength through that left foot, lower leg, thigh. Breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. And then release. These movements, these practices are designed to get you really tired in your ankles and feet. So don't be alarmed. We're going to do a few more things that I would like us to work on with strengthening of our lower body. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see what's happening here. Once again, lift the toes up, breathe. Relax the toes down, bend your knees, and sit your bottom back a little bit. This is like our fierce pose. And if you want to, you can lift the toes up. You really can. Try to keep that in the muscles, the arches lifted, or toes can come down. Keeping the hands on your thighs or reaching them up. I'm going to keep them down for now. Look at a point that's not moving and roll up on the ball of the feet. It doesn't matter how high. Stretch the toes wide. Roll up as if you were wearing stiletto heels. Breathe. Hold, breathe. Hold, breathe. So really try to keep your balance. Hold. Notice if the ankles are going like this, or notice if the ball of your big toe came off. Try to get evenness between the ball of the big toe all the way through the ball. The pinky toe kind of comes off sometimes. Now slow release and straighten your knees. So here we're working through some of the smaller muscles. When we bend the knee, we get the calf out of the picture, pretty much. We're going to work a muscle that's called the soleus. And that muscle is underneath the calf. It attaches to the back of this tibia, this big bone in there. And it helps us in pointing the toes, the foot, the ankle. So let's go try that again. We're going to bend the knees, breathe. You could reach the arms out or keep them at your thighs, breathe. Stretch the toes wide and roll up and down. Roll up and down. Keep breathing, up and down. Roll up and down. Roll up and down. Roll up and down. Roll up and down. Now roll up and hold. Breathe. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart. I might bring my hands to my thighs. I'm going to hold right there. And I'm going to take my right foot off of the mat. Woo! And then put the right foot down. Breathe. Take the left foot off the mat. Woo! And put it down. And one more set. The heels are up. Right foot off the mat. Lift. And then down. Falling over is optional. Left foot off the mat. And then down. Heels down. Reach up. Inhale. And exhale. Now, during that work, quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes were working. If you felt a lot of knee pressure, then pull back. Don't do so much. We got a lot happening. Now, how many of you noticed if you were holding your breath? Not really sure? Go, Nora. Nora's like, yep, holding my breath. Okay. So do what you can and try not to hold your breath too much, okay? So really focus on letting that breath move through you as best as you can. Okay, here we go. Legs strong, straight. Firm the thighs. We're gonna roll up again. Hands can be at your heart or hands can be at your thighs. We're gonna roll up and hold. Now the calf or the gastrocnemius is working, falling over, and slow lower, roll up and down, roll up and down, roll up and down. Now notice, some of us will do like this, where our heels kind of go out to the side and the ball of the big toe doesn't make contact. Keep it all contact. Up and down, and up and down. Two more, up and down. Now one more, hold it up, breathe, hold it up, breathe, hold it up, breathe. I'm falling over. Shift your weight onto the left, peel the right foot 1 inch off the mat, and then the other, pull it up, the other, and then last one, up, and then release. Bend your knees, shake it out a little bit, breathe. This is where we take our yoga lifestyle practices of paying attention and breathing into what feels like the fitness world. I really do want everyone to be walking or running, if that's what you like to do, or cycling or swimming. And I would love every one of you to be doing some form of resistance training. More so, we do resistance training in here. We're using our body weight. But I'd also like you to consider doing resistance training, maybe with some, I don't know, free weights. It doesn't have to be real heavy. But what you do is you take your yoga lifestyle, your focus, your posture, your positioning, and your awareness into whatever else you do. Let me share with you, for those of you who are interested in creating a conditioning effect, meaning toning the lower body, the lower calves. When we were rising up with a leg straight, that was primarily for the calves. When you bend, everyone bend your knees right now. And when you were rising up, and what we did was we kind of took the calves, the gastroc, out of the equation. And then now the lower muscle is working, and release. What happens there is, for those of you who want to create a little extra, how should I say this, shaping to the calf, then you want to make sure that you get the soleus in there, because when that one gets conditioned, it creates that little indentation, little cuts for your calves. So that's for your aesthetic awareness. Let's do Warrior One, because Warrior One is an excellent calf and lower body, lower leg stretch. So we're going to step the right foot forward, breathe. The left foot comes back behind you. We bend into that right knee, and I want you to straighten the left knee as straight as it'll go. Breathe. We're trying to straighten that knee to get a stretch to the calf, and if you can, and the lower body, lower leg, try to lift the toes up of that back foot. Breathe. And after we've done that calf work, some of you might notice it's kind of like, oh yeah, there it is. So if you can't lift your toes up, step the back foot in a little closer. Try to get the toes to come up and really try to straighten that knee. Bend into that right knee, reach. Oh, falling over is optional. Reach the arms up. Hold. See if you can lift the toes of both feet. Breathe. Creating that muscular engagement through the feet. Breathe. The back foot will benefit from the attempt, even just thinking about lifting the toes up, because that's going to strengthen the muscles in the lower front of your ankle. And those muscles are important. When you're ready, breathe, step the left foot forward. Other side, Warrior One on the left. The right leg comes behind us. Hips try to face forward, lift through the toes, firm the muscles. That back knee is as straight as it can be. So if you notice that your position and the knee is really bent, do the best you can to try. This is one of a very few positions where I'll say, go ahead and try to hyperextend that back leg. Firm the buttocks, lift the toes, breathe. Balancing, holding, inhaling and exhaling. Lifting the toes, lifting the muscular arch, Step the back foot closer and notice what happens. Can you lift the ankle, the toes a little bit more? You'll feel it different. And the top of my foot starts to get tired. Breathe. And then when you're ready, release. Step the right foot forward. Okay, for your information, when we were doing that and I asked you to lift your toes up, oops, let me do the other foot. When I ask you to lift the toes up, there's a muscle right here. You can kind of see it turn on a little bit. And you can see there's this tendon that comes down. And this is just one part, but the other muscles are small and they lie right in here, and they're the extensors. You see those little strings right here on my foot? Those are the tendons of all of the extensors. And all of those muscles, when we are anchoring and we lift the toes up, they turn on to help us pull the arch into position. We also have some other muscles. And I want you to show you what I want you to eventually learn. I want you to eventually learn how to pull your ball of your foot to your heel without having to lift the toes. That's your long-term homework. Oop, okay. And if you're not sure about what the heck I just shared, go onto the website, www.nydiasyogatherapy.com/video, and click on to the Foot Learning Adventures. And that'll, part 1 and part 2 will gradually get you into that stuff so that you can learn how to do that. Okay, we balanced, we stretched. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. I'm going to face the side view because as you exhale, keep the legs as straight as they want to be. Now you can bend them if that makes your low back feel better. Place your hands on your floor, on your shin, or on a block. And stretch the back of the legs, drop the head down. Notice if your hips went way back. And if you can, shift the weight to be even between the ball of the foot and the heel. Let the head drop down and breathe. Hold. Make a muscle at the front of your thighs. Breathe. Hold. Now, if your hands can come to the mat, here's a really neat little, I call this a wrist magic trick. Take your right hand and see if you can sneak it palm facing the sole of your foot. See if you can sneak your right hand underneath your right foot. You can bend the knees as much as you need to have that happen. And now take your foot, ball of your foot, and massage your hand and wrist with your toes. Woo! Those of you who do a lot of work with your computers or preparing food for a whole bunch of wonderful humans, use your hands a lot in the garden or making keys, doing stuff. It really helps to release the muscles and the structures in your wrists. We're going to release that right hand. Hopefully you're still doing okay. Put the left hand palm underneath the sole of your foot and then roll up and massage with your toes into the wrist. Breathe. This is not always comfortable. It is more comfortable for me because not only am I on tatami mats, but I have 2 yoga mats layered upon each other. It's kind of cushiony. If you have concrete underneath you right now, ow, that's not the most comfortable. So do the best you can. Now release the hands. Breathe. You are somewhat upside down. Bring the hands to thighs. Breathe. Get wide in your legs. Sit your bottom back. I'm going to show a side profile. Lift the toes. Drop your bottom. Sit back. This is our posture that is a variation of what's called malasana or garland pose. But I call this one our variation. It is preparation for potty in the woods. Yes, I said it. This one will get you ready to be able to make a potty happen wherever you need to. Now, eventually some of you will sit down and sit way down and hold and breathe. But this is not as easy. It takes quite a while to get really low. Make sure your knees are in the same line of your feet, and it's okay if they have to turn out, but if the feet turn out, the knees should turn out also. And just sit down as low as you can and breathe. Feel the muscles working. Breathe, yeah. And see if the whole foot can be flat. Aha. If the heels are up, then we're going to change something. Because this is how we gradually, now push all the way up, get range of motion in your lower legs, your ankles, your feet. And little by little, it gets better. Let's go find your chair or your super blocks for our intense side stretch. We're going to take the blocks, position them, or your chair. Hands on your chair, hands on your blocks. Right foot comes forward, left foot goes back. Level through your pelvis. And then here's it is an important thing. Anchor through the ball of the foot and the heel of both feet. Try to lift the toes up and straighten that right leg, that leg that's in the front. This is the place, once again, go ahead and try to straighten it as straight as you can. Then cascade over and breathe. And if, after a while, if it straightens too much, then I'll tell you, hey, pull back. But for now, make a muscle, try to straighten that right knee. So go for it, Dave. See if that right knee will go even straighter. Yeah. Now, some of us, when we straighten too much, we feel too much tension at the back of the knee. The tendon might be pulling too much, and that's a sign, nah, don't straighten that much. But if you can straighten that knee and you feel maybe something over here at the back of the thigh, or, you know, then that's okay. Now we're going to inhale, lift the torso, create a moment of extension of your spine. This is where the blocks come in real handy. Right hand to hip, extend, open the chest, turn your hips, breathe, turn, turn, turn. You could stay right here, firm the thighs. You could reach the arm out. This is revolve triangle, hold and breathe. So the right hand, yeah, if the right foot is forward, then the left hand will be on your block and the right arm reaches and you turn. That's it, yeah, and you're strong. Check the back foot, make sure both feet are on the mat, and can you lift the toes of the back foot? Good luck, yeah. It will challenge you. Now inhale and exhale, come back down. We put the hands on your blocks or on your chair, dorsiflex the ankle. Hold in that position. Now I'm gonna come and give us if you know, we've been doing this one, but I'm always far away and you may not be able to see what I'm asking for. We're going to dorsiflex the ankle. That means lift the top of your foot to your shin, extend the toes. And from this position, then we're going to invert and evert. And we're turning the sole of the foot in and out. And you're going to try to keep everything else really steady. So don't move any other part of your body. It's just the ankle. Woo, this is a great way to torment and torture your lower body, maybe even through the hip. Breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Some of us are very sensitive back here at the Achilles tendon as it inserts. Some of you going, can I hear an amen? Yeah. So what happens usually is when you do this gently over time, you try it, take rest when you need to, that sensitivity can actually be reduced. It can go away. Release. Woo. Go ahead and take rest. Take that right leg back. And now go ahead and switch legs. Left leg forward. Yeah, Elizabeth's got the right idea. She did a little downward dog there. Left leg comes forward. Right foot comes back. Firm through the thighs. Really try to straighten the thighs and knees out and cascade over. Lift the toes up. Breathe. The process of lifting the toes up and keeping them up will develop muscular endurance and some strength for those muscles that are in the lower leg. Those of us who have fallen prey or victim to, what do we call that? Shin splints. You know, you're trying to run or walk and maybe you have a very hilly environment, or you started doing work on a treadmill, and it's like, ow, 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 and you hear that you've got shin splints and it sounds terrible and you're like, oh man, sounds like things are ripping up in there. What's going on is all your muscles, keep breathing, are surrounded by connective tissue or fascia. like the gristle that you see surrounds your steaks, you know, that little white stuff. And when these muscles haven't been worked very much at all, and all of a sudden you go and you do a lot of work with them, you do running up or down hills, stuff like that, those muscles get engorged with blood, and it puts a lot of tension, pressure, because the connective tissue isn't flexible yet. It isn't ready for that. And it hurts like the dickens. Breathe, now release. We're gonna inhale, extend. Right hand on your block, left hand to hip. Turn. So gradually doing our strengthening exercises does bring blood flow. Turn to the hips, turn to the left arm reaches. And it can actually begin to condition and prepare these. Now, to say it directly, you should still not go running or walking up and down hills or start a new activity and do, like, you know, 6 miles on your first run. You should go slow, start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you should stretch afterwards. Breathe, and now bring that left hand down. Here we go. Let's go do your dorsiflexion, invert and evert of the ankle. See if the thigh can stay really steady. See if just the ankle. And today we're going to also demonstrate and practice an activity, a couple of activities that'll help to stretch out the front of that lower leg and ankle. The next movements will not be exactly easy. Do the best you can. Okay, let's release. You're going to bend your knees. Come down onto your knees, please. Plantar flex the ankles. That means point the feet, toes back behind you. I'm going to turn, show you my backside so that you can see that I'm trying to keep them stretched out behind me. My ankles naturally, they like my muscles are tight and they like to kind of do like this. If they had their way, they would just go like that all the time. I would sit on my feet and do all that stuff. But I've been working over the last 30 years on getting the muscles, the lower muscles in my lower legs, to be lengthened enough and strong enough to tolerate trying to be fairly, quote unquote, straight behind me. When you do that, if you've not done that ever or in a long time, the muscles will sometimes complain. When muscles complain, they like to cramp sometimes. Okay, some of us are going to stay right here and you're going to push. Now, I'm going to do this just for effect, but I'm not asking you to lift and push, but I want you to think, push the top of your feet into the mat. Push your hips forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Keep pushing the top of your feet into the mat. This is camel's pose. Breathe. Open the front side body. Breathe. And then releasing now. Keep those feet pressing back. Some of you are going to, and this is a perfect place, especially if you're still working on your flexibility of your knees, to put your blanket behind your bottom and to think about sitting back. Perfect place for a big blanket or some of those awesome cushions, Greg, that you have on that couch over there. So as long as you feel okay, but if it feels okay, yeah, Rick, that looks good. But a couple of cushions behind your buttocks, maybe kind of wedged behind your knees, can really help, possibly. Good. So what we're trying to do right here is we're trying to sit on your ankles. And ooh, nice, Lynn. You did a good job. Lynn has carpet off to the side, and that's a much better place to do that instead of on the hard surface of your tile. So good job. Breathe. So whether we decide to use a blanket or something, eventually, Dave's kind of come forward here. We eventually want to see if we can sit upright. Here, my shoulders above my hips, and I'm trying to use the body weight. And as I sit back, woo, breathe. Now, if you're really crazy and you're having some fun, then we roll. Oh, I've lifted my legs up. That's not easy. And maybe not highly recommended. We'll do something different. Ready? Come on, back up onto hands and knees. Keep the feet pressing firm, push to the arms, lift the knees about 1 inch or 2 off the mat. Breathe. Lift them a little bit more. Feel the stretch through the front of, the lower ankle. And then we can go all the way up. There's a big stretch through the flexors, but remember, slowly release, come to sitting. If you've never done that before, you probably know you did it tonight in the next few days. So go slow. Okay, we're gonna bring the legs out ahead of you. Invert, evert. So we're turning in and out through the ankles. Breathe. Notice if the legs are moving. See if you can freeze the legs and just work the ankle. Breathe. Ladies and gentlemen, highly underappreciated are the little muscles that lie right through here in the lower leg, through the ankle, crossing and into the foot. We're going to bend the left knee, find your strap, extend the toes and bend forward. This is our seated head to knee pose, and breathe. We don't really think about doing these exercises. Those of you now, you guys are yoga practitioners, so you do your exercise, this work, bare feet. The simple act of being in bare feet, trying to balance and all that, makes all of these muscles that we're talking about, makes them work. That basic act of being in bare feet and trying not to fall over plays a major role in helping you for your long term. Inhale and exhale. Switch legs, come up. Other side. Dorsiflexing, lifting the toes up. Right knee bends, come forward. Dropping into your stretch, breathe. Feel the stretch along the back of your thigh. Some of us will feel the stretch through your spine, maybe all the way to the back of your head and neck area. So just breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Really extend the toes and breathe. And then release, coming back up. Nice. Bending your knees, getting ready to slowly roll down. And as we have the hands on your shins, either in front or behind, open your chest, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Try to lengthen your spine. Draw the belly muscles in. Release the arms, hold. Stay right here. You can stay right here. Feel your muscles working. Maybe the hip muscles working too. You could take a leg up. Maybe both of them. Maybe not. You decide. Breathe, hold. Breathe, hold. Breathe, hold. Feet down. Push the feet into the mat as you slowly, I'm checking behind me, slowly lower down. Now we're going to slowly lower down. Here's where I like to use my hands. And then we're going to roll up. You can use your hands to help. Push the feet into the mat. Slowly roll down. And then slowly roll up. You don't have to go all the way down. Breathe. Keep breathing. Slowly roll down. I like to do this and make my little muscles cramp in my stomach. Slowly roll up. Slowly roll down. See how low you can go. Use your hands to help yourself up and slowly roll up. Push the feet into the mat. Slowly roll down. Keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling, and slowly roll up. Breathe. And then when you're ready, slowly roll down. All the way down. Wide fingers, wide palms. You will almost always see bridge pose in almost every class that I teach. Bridge pose is an important one. Bend your knees, push through the feet, press through the arms, squeeze between the shoulder blades, firm the buttocks, lift the hips. It is a moment of extension that we start at the backside body. Breathe. And I'll actually start this type of work, breathe too, before I even start work for people who need to strengthen their spine. In a moment, we're going to go show and do the work This is a beginning way to start strengthening your core and your spinal extensors, your back muscles. Slowly release. When you're ready, roll all the way onto your stomach. Rolling onto your stomach, cross your forearms, rest your forehead on the crossed forearms. Straighten the knees, draw the belly in. I will start the bridge pose before I start these activities here. Draw your belly muscles up into your spine, squeeze the thighs, breathe. Inhale and exhale, raise the right thigh, breathe. In this position, also the knees very straight if they can be, breathe. Put the right thigh down as you inhale, lift the left thigh, breathe. Very strong, straight legs, breathe. Inhale and exhale, left thigh down. As you inhale, lift both thighs, breathe. If it feels right to you, stretch the arms overhead like Superman. Breathe. You're flying. Breathe 1. Breathe 2. Arms reaching, legs reaching. Breathe 3. Strong. Lift the chest. Breathe 4. Lift the thighs. Breathe 5. And then release. Woo! Push back into child's pose. Stretch your arms overhead. Inhale and exhale. And breathe. Come back onto your abdomen. I'm going to roll over. Back onto your spine. That was for our demonstration, kind of sharing with you that those movements of lying on your stomach and doing that extension are also very important. Hug your knees into chest, breathe. Hands on your thighs, circle. The thighs are circling around. This is a movement that we call in the physical therapy world, we call this a sacral rock. And here the low back, the sacrum, and the pelvic bones kind of are being moved and they're massaging. Now reverse the circles. Inhale and exhale. And then release, place the feet down. Take the right leg, cross it way over the left, squeeze the thighs together and drop the thighs to the left. Look over the right shoulder. Here's an opportunity, if you will take it. Bring your attention back to your rib cage and to your abdomen. When you go into this twist, notice the stretch that you feel, and now inhale, expand the ribs and the belly. And now exhale, squeeze the ribs, squeeze the belly, squeeze, 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 squeeze. All the air out. And now inhale, expand as large as you can. Inhale. And exhale, squeeze the ribs, squeeze the belly, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then inhale, expand. And exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And now release. And now here we are. That right knee was crossed over. And if you want to, while you're still twisted to the left, straighten the right leg out. Yeah. So you kind of uncrossed it, just stretched it out. Woo! And if you can, you go hold on to that right leg with your left arm and then straighten that left leg out. Woo! Big stretch. Breathe. Go slow. And now gently bend your knees. Take your time, bend your knees, breathe. There's a reason that we're bending the knees. It takes some of the pressure. How shall I say this better? When you bend your knees, it gives you more control. That's a better way to say this. So I really want you to know how you're moving your body. We're going to take the left leg, cross it well over the right, squeeze the thighs together. Drop your thighs to the right. Look over the left shoulder. This process, these practices are about empowering you, teaching you how to help your own physical body for the long term, giving you the instructions, the tools. Breathe. Let's go do some of that deep breath work. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And now when you're ready, that left thigh is crossed over the right. You can straighten that left leg out if you choose, kind of stretching it across. And then if you're still having fun, I'm holding on with my right hand to that left ankle. You can straighten the right leg out. Woo, big stretch. Great way to make muscles cramp when they get tired. Keep breathing. And then very gently bend the knees again as you prepare to bring yourself back center. Woohoo! Nice work, everybody. Let's do one more bridge, and this time we're going to push the hands into the mat, squeeze the buttocks, lift the hips, breathe. Shimmy the shoulders away from your ears, press through the arms, breathe. If it feels right to you, raise the arms skyward, fingertips towards the ceiling. You can stay here or extend the wrist, palms to the ceiling, breathe. You can stay here or keep the wrists where they are, bend the elbows and try to put their hands next to your shoulders or your head. Feel how the muscles go. You want me to do what? Push through the hands, breathe, squeeze your buttocks. You don't ever have to lift anything. This is the beginning of a backward bend, but guess what? You are already doing enough. When you keep the hands where they are, slowly lower your hips. If you can do this and your palms get flat, you have all of the motion that you need through your wrists, through your elbows, through your shoulders. If you have no pain and you have the ability to touch palms down flat and the fingers and thumbs are wide, then you're in good shape. And if you are like, oh crap, I don't have that, guess what? You've got work to do. Release the arms. Here's the idea behind why we just did that. Let's make circles through the wrist. For those of us who want to, in the next few decades, when you put your arms back in this position like this, that's kind of a clearing test that I like to use to help to make sure that you have all the motion that you need for the rest of your life to be able to wash your face, brush your teeth, fix your hair, all of that stuff. And whether or not you're concerned about that, because I know I don't care. I'm not, I'm gonna be an old lady, hopefully, God willing, and my hair is gonna be sticking up all over the place. But if you kind of want to be able to take care of making sure that you look real cute for the rest of your days, then do this as often as you can. Keep that motion. And if you can't do it, then call up some of my friends, those physical therapists. They're really cool people. Make sure that you don't get a problem in the shoulders. Okay, let's find your blankets if you choose and your aromatherapy. We're going to lift the hips up onto your blanket. And if you have your aromatherapy, you can also get you a blanket. One blanket. All right. Legs up in the air like you just don't care. Breathe. Find your position. We get upside down on purpose. The world looks different when you're upside down. It's good practice. Also, when you're upside down and your legs are up in the air, it's another opportunity to take a peek at those feet and those toes. Now, we did a lot of good work through the ankles and feet, so right now let's just circle. I'm not going to torment you anymore. We did some really good things to them. You might be kind of tired later. Uh-oh, I just set an intention. Circle in the opposite direction. At minimum, if you never go onto my website to go and do the foot exercises, which by the way you should, would be a good idea. But if you never do, at minimum, make circles with your ankles regularly. Daily would be really good. And just like I was sharing with Bernardo the other day, if you're going to be traveling, if you're going to be on a long car ride or on a plane ride, do your ankle circles and your ankle pumps, because that's a great way to keep the circulatory system going, functioning, and it can help to reduce your risk of getting a blood clot. And any one of us at any stage in our life, if we're not mobile for a period of time, we're at risk for something like that. We call it a deep vein thrombosis. So there's no room in your day for that. Really, we don't need that. So when you go flying or when you go driving, big long road trips, then just take a moment, make your little circles. When you're ready, bend your knees. Slowly place the feet down on the mat. Lift your hips up off of the blanket. Stretch yourself out. This is the best part. And this is a very important part. Our Shavasana. Just let your arms and legs release and relax on the mat. My wonderful friend Uma Dinsmore Tully is her full name. When she presents the Yoga Nidra, the instructions are for you to get really comfortable with your blankets and your pillows, to lie yourself down, to relax all the parts of your body. She takes us through a relaxation sequence. And she usually is playing music. Sometimes she'll play bells. Sometimes she's playing a harmonium. Sometimes she's playing, lately she's been playing, what do we call this? I forget the name of it. David, the name of that thing that, it's like a drum. It's got a name. And it's beautiful. It sounds almost like the metal, oh gosh, what is that metal drum that sounds like? Say that again? No, that's a didgeridoo. That's the other one. What is that metal drum that sounds really cool? Caribbean music. Bing, 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 bing. I don't know. Can't remember. The gentleman that came to play music, the hung, Hung. It's like looks like a spaceship, but it's a percussion, and it plays. It's beautiful. It kind of sounds like not a marimba, but the metal drums, the whatever those things are. It's got a really pretty sound. And she'll play music and she'll talk us through, and sometimes she sings. And meanwhile, your work is to allow yourself to rest, to let go of all expectations, to just let go of all muscular effort and just give yourself permission to rest. Breathing. Those of you who are on the Facebook with me, I have been sharing some of her 20-minute sessions. And if you're curious about what I'm talking about, and if you're on the Facebook, go and look at my page. I've been sharing Nydia's Yoga Therapy. She's been presenting some programs. I did one this afternoon. It's permission to take a nap, really. It's good stuff. 20 minutes of lying and just letting myself rest. Just like our practice right now. Very gently now, begin to move the fingers and the toes. And as you're breathing, stretch the arms and legs away from your center. Very gently bend the knees. And slowly roll onto your side. Take your time to come into the seated position. You can sit on your blankets, you can sit on the mat. We close with one long, strong Om. The process of this chanting Om, and remember, you don't have to use the word Om, O-M. You could use another word like calm, C-A-L-M. It's the vibration, the quality of vibration that moves through your throat, that vibrates and stimulates your vagus nerve and the part of the autonomic nervous system that encourages the relaxation response. So, you know, if you don't chant Om, you could just hum. That's great, and just feel that, or hum your favorite song or sing. So we close with Om because that vibrational quality and the sound and that pranavam, that word in itself is very strong connotation to our connection to our own self, our own spirit, and to the universe. Inhale. Inhale, reach the arms skyward, gently place the palms together, move them past the mind's eye, drop them down to the heart center. Blessings to each of you. Thank you for allowing me to serve you in this practice. Namaste. Good work, everybody. Excellent.